If you don't think a single person makes a difference, you do. You absolutely do. People used to ask me about my political persuasions at the CBC, and out of respect for my employer, I was quite quiet. Now I can stand up and say very loudly and very proudly, I have voted Green for decades. I will always vote Green. It's an honor to be associated with you guys, and it's an honor, Elizabeth, to be introducing you.
Thank you. It's wonderful of you to come out to send us off as we start, for the first time ever, a whistle-stop Green Party train that isn't during an election campaign. This is going to be very interesting. We're taking the Green train across Canada. We're traveling from Vancouver, British Columbia to Miramichi, New Brunswick. And we have two goals in communication. We want to tell everybody that we need to get Canada back on track. Our democracy is off the rails, and passenger rail needs real investment so that we can have an efficient, modern train system to move people from place to place across this country and within it efficiently. So we need investments in Via Rail, and we need investments in democracy. For democracy, we need Bill C-559 to pass this fall to reduce the power of political party leaders. And for Via Rail, it's a budgetary matter. We've just got to make it a priority, and we need a national transportation policy. I want to thank our local organizers in the Green Party here in Kamloops, and it's wonderful to be welcomed by now an elected city councillor, Donovan Cavers, who has always done a fantastic job organizing our Kamloops whistle-stop rallies. This is the third, right? Yeah, so this is pretty amazing. This is the first one in daylight. And we also know that democracy needs to get back on track, so I'm urging Greens across the country, no matter what political stripe is your member of parliament, there's a free vote coming up in the fall. And no matter where you live, please contact your member of parliament and let them know that you've heard about Bill C-559. You're going to do whatever you can to get that bill passed. Write letters to the editors of your local papers over the summer. Try to find your local MP on the barbecue circuit, and tell that member of parliament you're counting on them, regardless of political stripe, to do the right thing. Yay for you! There's about 25 of us on board the train, and only some people woke up. But I'm awfully glad you waited. A whistle-stop tour is the ultimate in democracy. You never know who's waiting on the platform. It's not controllable. It's not scriptable. It's the opposite of what most political parties would ever want to do. And what it does is it gives us a chance to meet with people from coast to coast while we travel.
The Green Party has 6 core principles that I really align with. And that's principles of sustainability, ecological wisdom, social justice, nonviolence, participatory democracy, and respect for diversity.
I have a very big concern about what sort of planet we're going to leave our kids.
We must be active, we must agitate for change, for positive change. And the Green Party is the party, I think, that can do this.
I was really impressed that there was a political party that had nonviolence at its core, and that was the principle that made me feel at home in the Green Party. And I felt that all of the other principles of the Global Greens tie into nonviolence.
I joined the Green Party because the environment is important. I believe that all other political parties really weren't giving it the attention it deserved.
I think Elizabeth May is a person who's very honest and a person I can trust. And at this time, I think the environment is certainly the paramount focus.
For me, my biggest thing is proportional representation. When I met Elizabeth, she went rushing off, brought her book back, opened the chapter on electoral reform, and she kind of hooked me there.
It's very much a social justice issue for me to be involved in the Green Party, because obviously we do need a clean, healthy environment to sustain our economy. But a part of that, too, is having equality, having equal access, and a quality of life for everyone. So there are really no issues that don't connect with green values. The environment is just one part of that and an integral part.
It's the only party that I see that is actually trying to take the future into consideration and is looking at what the world is going to look like in years down the road and what it means for our children.
I think that the environmental concerns that are articulated by the Green Party are probably the most pressing issues of our time. And 2, I really, really like the emphasis on democratic renewal, because without a strong democracy, we won't solve any of the problems that we face in a good way.
We should have been here at 7:45 in the morning. and there were people here who were waiting for us at 7:45 in the morning. The reason we are late is core to one of the messages of Greens on this train tour. Canada has no transportation policy, and we're the only country in the OECD with no transportation policy. My big concern, and Green Party's big concern, is that for people across Canada who used to be able to rely on rail, passenger rail service has fallen off the map as a priority. And we need to invest in our national railway system so that trains can run on time by having their own track. We are more invested than we ever were in the goal of trains running on time. So we're going to get back on that train, and we're going to get to our convention in Fredericton. Thank you so much, everyone from Winnipeg who came out at this I said we wouldn't giggle anymore. Wee hours of the morning.
I joined the Green Party, and I joined the Green Train, and I'm having a great time. The scenery is beautiful, and this trip has been great. So many good people to meet, and so many great people in the Green Party.
What better way to see the country than by train?
Green Train's been a lot of fun.
The Armstrong, Ontario Rally is a long tradition of green whistle stops. It usually counts for about a 3-minute stop, and although the train is moving away behind us, I urge you not to panic. I am your leader. I will make the train stop again to take us onward. No, I tell you, that's a very ungreen thing to say. Bruce Heyer works for the people of Thunder Bay Superior North. He does not work for me. We have never, and we will never have a whipped vote in the Green Party, and as a result, Bruce no longer feels the lashes of the whip from a party leader. And we work as a team. We want to make this team bigger. Thanks a million, you guys. Miglitch. Have a nice trip. Bye. Green all the way.
I feel like for the first time there's a political party that I feel so aligned with, that I want to be more politically engaged with.
We all know that the environment isn't just part of the economy. The environment is the economy. We have to look after it.
I believe it's the party that's going to make decisions that are going to make my children's life and their children's life as awesome as mine has been.
We are committed to working for citizen action and citizen empowerment and putting this country back into the hands of the people who live here. A Canada for Canadians and not for free trade deals that only benefit transnationals. It's time to actually get our priorities right. So for those of us who got on the train in Vancouver on Friday, we've had a lot of great experiences in how Via Rail is sabotaged by freight.
It is such a joy to listen to Elizabeth rail on and on about the abuses of democracy here in Canada, but she is definitely on track to fix them. And I'm happy to be the caboose to her little engine that could, as we charge from coast to coast to coast by a renewed and reinvigorated rail system that we can be proud of. Sadly, Canada is the only member of the G20 nations that does not have a national rail strategy, that does not have a national energy strategy. And so not only was our poor little train bumped on the sidings all the way from Vancouver to here, but you know what it was bumped by. It was bumped by oil cars that are on trains too long to fit onto the sidings. And of course, for Stephen Harper, oil cars are more important than Canadian transportation. So thanks for joining us here today. It's really exciting to be here with so many bright, concerned, committed Green Party members.
All right, everybody from Oshawa, thank you for coming out to meet the Green Train. This train is heading to our convention in Fredericton. We have a few more rallies today, and at every stop we make 2 points. We want to get Canada back on track. Democracy is off the rails, so is Via Rail. To make it work, we've got to get a better train system and a law that works. And anyway, thank you. Vote Green. We're only allowed to stop long enough to thank you for coming out to support us, to say that we are on a whistle stop tour across Canada to get Canada back on track. We want democracy back on track. We want to pass my Michael Chong's Bill 559, reduce the power of political party leaders, and we want a legislative framework and funding for Via Rail so the trains can run on time more frequently with more passengers who love train travel as much as I do. So, I think I gotta go back on board. Yay! We have a 3-minute rally, gather round. So all of you count, all of you are part of a green movement rolling across Canada. I'm so grateful to you for coming out, and I'm so committed to lovely Sophie on board this train, who told me to be off the station platform in 3 minutes, that I've got to go. Thank you very much. Go Greens, go! So we doubled our caucus this year. We've been going across Canada with the message that we need to put democracy back on track, and Via Rail needs support. It needs a legislative framework. It needs to have passenger rail count for something. And having come across the country and been bumped to the sidings by fossil fuel shipments, arriving, 4 and 5 and 6 hours late, depending on where we were, we know even more how we need to protect Via Rail.
Now, here is the future. After the next election, we are going to hold the balance of power. And one of the conditions of holding the balance of power is going to be to restore Via Rail and passenger rail and rail safety across Canada as it used to be, so we can be proud of it again. So say hello to the future holder of the balance of power in the next government, Elizabeth May.
We're really, really happy to celebrate that the 70 kilometers of track that we're about to take from Bathurst to Miramichi are still running Via Rail trains. Yes. So we're grateful to Bruce Heyer for doing the whistle stop in February. Do you want to say anything, Bruce? Yeah.
Well, sometimes the good guys win, sometimes the forces of ecological sanity prevail. We put pressure on the Conservatives and Lisa Raitt, and they responded. So democracy works when little people get involved and apply the pressure. Politicians move toward pleasure and away from pain. They were feeling pain on the VIA issue, and it worked. And so it's pleasurable for us to be here.
The 2 points we've made on every whistle stop rally come from the tradition of Sir John A. Macdonald. Sir John A. Macdonald, the first Prime Minister of this country, understood Westminster parliamentary democracy, unlike the current Prime Minister who thinks it's an elected dictatorship. Sir John A. Macdonald understood that in Westminster parliamentary democracy, the Prime Minister is merely first among equals. And Sir John A. Macdonald also understood that he didn't control his caucus. He used to refer to them as loose fish. And he also understood that a vision for Canada meant that you spent public funds in the public interest, for our common interest, and for future generations. Via Rail is the descendant of the original national dream, the railway built by Sir John A. Macdonald. We had the best time of anyone coming to our convention because we came together on the green train. And it was, I think you'll all agree, a great time to be together. In this party, I promise you, no one will ever be under the bus. We only get on the bus. I do like the notion that we're the little engine that could. So one round of, I think I can, 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 I think I can. We know we can. Thank you.